freedom. It'll always be freedom.
Welcome to Conversations in Anarchy. My name is Laura and I'm in Latvia, where winter has finally started with white snow and cold. But today we're going to be talking about something really warm, and that is Anarchapulco 2026. And the main event this year going to be happening on February 15th to 20th in Puerto Vallarta. And that's right, it's going to be in Puerto Vallarta. And those of you that have been participating in Anarchapulco all these 11 years or some of the years in the past, remember this, it's in Puerto Vallarta this year. And today I have gathered some of the core team of Anarchapulco to explore more about what to expect, what to pack in the suitcases when coming to Anarchapulco 2026. And while I'm in a northern country feeling cold, some of our teammates are already in Puerto Vallarta. Hi, Kale and Mike. How is it there?
It's wonderful. It's so hot. The weather is great. We've been hanging out with some friends, Josh Stigerson, and some other people.
Thank you, guys. But Kat, as a producer of the conference, I would like to ask you to introduce Anarchapulco to those of our audience that have probably never been attending it yet. How would you present Anarchapulco for someone who hasn't heard so much about it?
I would say that Anarchapulco is the place to come if you are looking for like-minded community. It is a gathering space where families of all shapes and sizes come together from literally all over the world. We've got people who come from Australia and New Zealand, people from Europe, people from Canada, North America, Mexico, South America, all over the world. They come together for 1 or more weeks. Some people stay for longer, and we do have all sorts of things happening after the main event. And we come together and we share ideas and we build community. And then we take what we've learned and the relationships that we've built, and we go back home. And I believe that we make the world a more beautiful place because of what we're learning and who we're meeting when we are together at Anarchapulco. This year, the event is inside a convention center, so it's going to be a little bit more of a convention style and less of a festival style, which people may have grown accustomed to us being outdoors like we were in Acapulco, but that was really hot. And some generations were struggling with the heat and really, really wanted us to get back to an air-conditioned space. So we moved north to Puerto Vallarta. There is less heat there, and we do have an amazing facility. We're going to be running 2 stages simultaneously. There's all sorts of workshops you can get involved with. There's plant medicine ceremonies. There's outings and excursions. We have a temple tour. There's so many neat things happening, and you can check all that out at anarchapulco.com. Click on tickets, and you can scroll through the huge menu of offerings that we have this year.
The list of happenings that's going to be available during the Anarchapulco or just before or just after are really rich. And so let's start about those 2 stages. It's been a while since there's more than one stage at Anarchapulco. What's going to be on each of them?
Well, okay. I was going to say, let's have Miranda answer as the stage manager.
Yeah, so I'm newly the stage manager this year, which that's been an adventure, but we are kind of overloaded with a lot of options for information, and so that's why the second stage came about. We don't have a name for it. We're looking for a name for it. We don't want to call it the second stage or the side stage, but that's how it came about. And the whole point is, like, there's going to be meditations, there's going to be book clubs, there's going to be panels on that second stage, because a lot of people have really requested more panels. They love having more panels. But the thing is, it's really hard when you have 5 days and like 6 or 7 hours per day of stage time. It's really difficult to fit an hour or 2 panels each day and have everybody that everybody wants to have speak. So we came up with that as an alternative solution and there will be some workshops as well. Mark Devlin's workshop will be on the side stage. But the whole idea is to give people more of what they're asking for, and so people can choose their own adventure. That side stage is going to be more intimate. It's going to be a smaller crowd, of course, but you're more likely to get your question answered during a panel, for example, on the side stage than you would be on a main stage where there's who knows how many people sitting there, especially with, how it's looking like our attendance is going to be this year.
Thank you. What about workshops? Is it going to be the same as last year, or how it's going to be this year?
So we have 2 workshop spaces this year. The indoor workshop space is basically full. It's going to be indoor with tech, air conditioning in the convention center, and then there's going to be an outdoor space, and there's a few workshops there and a few more that are coming in, like Christoph Melchizedek. I'm not very good at pronouncing his name. It's a mouthful. But he wants to do a side workshop about giving people information about iboga, for example, because Jeff has been just singing the praises of that. And he's like, whoa, I need people to know what that's actually about before they go looking for it, because it's intense. Like, you need to be connected to heart machines and things for that medicine. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of workshops, and some of them happening at the same time, because that is just the nature of Anarchapulco this year. It's very much like a marketplace of ideas, instead of like, okay, there's only going to be content on the main stage at this time, which is kind of how we've tried to do in the past. It's going to be very much like there's going to be content on the main stage and on the second stage, and there's going to be workshops happening indoors and probably workshops happening outdoors, and there's going to be, ceremonies, and you kind of have to pick what you want to do. But that's what the replay is for. There's not going to be a replay yet. We're considering doing virtual workshops of the workshops this year, but we don't have that set up yet. But as far as they wouldn't be included in the lifetime replay anyway, but every ticket comes with access to the lifetime replay. So if you're off doing a workshop or a ceremony or something, and you miss something you wanted to see on the main stage, we are going to have that live stream for people to be able to see. And
I do plan for us to video record the second stage as well. That won't be live streamed probably, but it will be recorded. So it'll be on the replay. So you'll actually have 2 stages on the replay that you can watch. So even if you're not signed up for a workshop, but you're just standing in the lobby talking, because for me, I know that being at Anarchapulco, it's those heart-to-heart relationships. You can still catch the panel. You can still catch the speech just by going after the event and watching the replay.
So that's really good to know. It's probably going to make choosing a bit easier, despite it's going to be difficult because everything is so exciting. So as you already mentioned, Kat, the Anarchapulco has been and still is family-friendly place and event. And as for last years, I was managing the family camp, but this year there's also a new person coming in. Can you tell a little bit about her? Because unfortunately she couldn't be on the recording right now, but she has a video sent to us that we're gonna add as well. But maybe you can tell some words about Miley.
Sure. Miley lives here at Greenbrier Intentional Community where I live, and she's actually at the schoolhouse right now. So that's why she's unable to be on this call. She runs the Rosebuds, which is like the toddler and pre-K meetup that we have here. We've been trying to build community before the children turn 5 and are eligible to enroll in the school at Greenbrier. We've been really working to build community, and it has been a huge success. There is this awesome group of moms and young kids that spend their Tuesdays together. And she also runs our social media. So if you go to Greenbrier's Instagram account, you can see like she's a vibe. She's super artistic. She's really crafty, and she's a great organizer, which is why when Laura said she couldn't come, my first thought was Miley. Miley would be great. And I was so excited that she was a yes, because she's here at Greenbrier. She's already working with kids all the time. She has two kids that are here as well. So she's a mom. She's already, knows how to do community building. And she has watched Game of Village take place in real time, which is an activity that we're going to be offering at Anarchapulco this year. My goal is to do a mock Lieberland where the kids can actually build a micro Lieberland. So they'll build little peeps and they'll build little houses. And that's a class that I teach here at Greenbrier. We're not doing Lieberland, we're doing 1776 Revolutionary American colonies. So it's a different vibe. But the idea is that the kids get to build little avatars and build their own model homes, and that they can actually homestead Lieberland and be a great way to raise awareness about Lieberland. So because she's already seen Game of Village in action, I don't have to really hold her hand through, teaching her how to do it. She can just plug right in, and it's going to be great. I'm so excited that Miley is coming to do family camp.
Hi everyone, I'm Miley, and this is my first year leading family camp at Anarchapulco. A little bit about me. I live off-grid in an intentional community called Greenbrier. I raise my children mostly outdoors. We homeschool, we garden, we hike, we camp, and nature is a big part of our everyday life. I also run a small garden club for kids at our community schoolhouse in the woods. This year I'm bringing something brand new and really exciting to family camp called Game of Village. It's a hands-on community building experience where we build a miniature village together over the week. Kids and adults come together and they can choose a role if they want, like a farmer, builder, healer, baker, or storyteller, and help shape and design their dream village. We'll design the land, make our characters, and build homes and shared spaces using simple materials. We'll also have the space to bring miniature gardens, markets, libraries, and gathering spaces to life. We will also have discussion circles, which are a big part of family camp, with guest speakers and space for conversation, connection, and insight. There will be plenty of open time too. Games, crafting, swimming, stage games, tie-dye, and more. I'm really excited to see what we co-create together this year. See you soon.
That sounds like really great. And so families with kids, I know that for you, Kat, and for me, on the first years when the kids are smaller, younger, it's a challenge, to attend. But for every year that I have been present, that's where moms or families meet and have their own vibe and can share, different experiences, different advices. So it can be also really great to hang out there, despite it's not so easy to catch all the speakers or workshops or stuff like that. But so, yeah, our audience, please know, kids and families in general are really welcome to Anarchapulco. But let's go a bit further. What about food and drinks this year? Is there any changes there? Maybe Chris, you can tell us about that.
Hey everyone, my name is Kristaps and I'm the logistics manager of Anarchapulco. So this year we are going to have for all VIP tickets, there will be included catering, which will include daily lunch and dinner, and also open bar during through the entire day. Our caterer will be one of the best chefs from the entire area. His name is Mauricio Lil Martinez. He owns a restaurant called ICU. It's actually Iku in some Mexican tribal language. It means corn. So it's one of the best restaurants, and the restaurant have received many, or at least 5 or 6 nominations with the best local food, and so I really have a trust that it's gonna be amazing. He's like, our chef is traveling around the world and representing Jalisco state. by cooking in different countries. So I really believe that it's going to be amazing.
I am Chef Mauricio Leal from Icur Restaurant in Puerto Vallarta. It's an honor to be part of Anarchapulco, a space where vision, creativity, and freedom come together. At Icur, we cook contemporary Mexican cuisine using local 0 kilometers ingredients, working closely with producers and letting the season guide every dish. Today, I am excited to share this philosophy in the VIP section. Bold Mexican flavors, refined technique, and an experience created with intention. Welcome to Anarchapulco, Puerto Vallarta.
And also, we are going to have 2 special dinners. One will be at the venue, and the other one is going to be in his restaurant. And this will be probably one of the best special dinners we ever had at Anarchapulco. It's going to be like tasting menus, including drinks and great atmosphere, live music. I feel that this will be very special. A part of that, other years we had also breakfast, but this year we decided to not have breakfast because most of the people are staying in hotels. So we believe that our guests can have a breakfast at their hotels. So yeah.
So then it's lunch and dinner at the event and breakfast at the hotels where attendees are staying themselves. About the special dinners, it's not only the food that is special about the special dinners, it's also who is coming to the special dinners. Is there something Kat maybe can tell more about?
We have not decided yet on the theme of the special dinners. I have reached out to Jeff. I have a couple ideas. I don't want to reveal them preemptively, but we will be announcing the theme of the dinner and who the special guests will be. But you can always expect Jeff and his family at all of these special dinners.
I can also say, when it comes to children, all VIP kids will be catered, and also all of them will have a included open bar, just like for everybody else, just except alcohol, of course.
So for VIP ticket holders, both adults and kids, and VIP Plus ticket holders, every lunch, like at the venue, lunch and dinner is included, but general admission will have to take care about their own food. But is it going to be that they need to get something outside of the venue, or there's going to be some food trucks or something like that where they can actually go and buy food at the venue?
At the convention center, they have their own food stall where they'll be selling different food, baguettes and stuff. But outside the main entrance, we are planning to have several food trucks. That hasn't been confirmed entirely yet, but we are working on it to bring some local specialties for the general admission attendees, that they can grab food whenever they like during the lunch breaks, dinner breaks, or other times. But yes, there will be options available. Absolutely.
Thank you, Chris. Do we want to talk a little bit about the VIP Plus tickets? But that's going to be at least one difference than years before, because there's going to be a personal concierge that's going to be answering and helping out all VIP Plus guests. Who wants to talk a bit more about that?
Well, I'll start, but I'll let Chris finish. Basically, this year, Chris was able to negotiate rooms at the Westin Hotel, which is a really nice hotel. It is on the beach. They've got beautiful pools. There's a cigar lounge where we're going to have a little meet and greet with Jeff and his family. So you're going to get the best housing that we could find in Puerto Vallarta. And you will have a ride to and from the venue. You'll have concierge that'll work with you, help you answer questions, whatever you need. You'll get access to TCV and TDV events, workshop credit. We've got a lot of perks in there for you. And we are in right now the tier 2 pricing of the VIP Plus. So every time we sell 10 VIP Plus tickets, they become more expensive. And this is because we have to hire an additional concierge, and like there's more things that come with more people. And so right now we're in the tier 2 pricing. And I mean, this is everything except your airfare, right? We're gonna make sure you get from the airport to your hotel. We're gonna make sure you get from your hotel to the event. You're gonna have access to you're gonna have the most level access of any attendee. This means you can get into the speaker green room. You'll have access to the VIP area. This included for all VIP, not just VIP Plus, but there is a designated VIP lounge that is in the venue this year, which has been a request for years. And of course, in Acapulco, we kept getting hit by hurricanes. And so the Jardín Secreto had fewer and fewer buildings that we could use. So this year we do have a designated VIP area specifically. I think that this is the absolute best deal that you can get, because it's everything but your airfare. And obviously the luggage that you bring, you need to figure that out for yourself, what you're going to wear and all that. But everything else we have taken care of for you.
How about the special dinners and workshops? Is anything of that included in VIP Plus ticket, or it's extra?
So we have just added $100 workshop voucher for each VIP Plus attendee. So those that are purchasing VIP Plus couples, they will get 2 of those vouchers. And we have also added the Color Vigilante and Crypto Vigilante Summits, both of them for Saturday and Sunday after Anarchapulco. And also both of the special dinners are included in VIP Plus ticket prices. So basically those that will purchase the VIP Plus tickets, they will get the full package, including the transportation, concierge, airport pickup, airport drop-off, and so yeah, that's an amazing package, basically that the best you can get, which I really suggest. I think we have 6 tickets left or 6 rooms left for the tier 2 prize, so they're selling out fast. Yesterday there were 7 left, so I think in average we've been selling like 1 a day or something. So there is not going to be too many days before tier 3 is going to come, which will be with little price spike.
Thank you. And more information about all the ticket types and what's included is on anarchapulco.com. The link is in the descriptions below as well. Let's talk about the nightlife, what to expect there.
Well, our opening party is going to be really fun. We are going to do it outside, I believe, at the convention center. We're going to have a stage set up. We do have a musical performer, but I'm waiting on her to sign the intake form. But she has confirmed that she's coming via email, but she hasn't filled out all the forms yet. But her name is IMA. So consider that like a soft announcement, an unofficial official announcement. Her music is playing in the promo video that Jeff made, and she'll be coming in from Australia. She's amazing. If you haven't heard her, check her out on Spotify, where she's got millions of listens on her music, and it's very much in alignment with our message and our philosophy.
With my day job as a white coat, I'm so done with all that shit. Packed everything that I own. This farming game just makes me sick. I just wanna buy a house and live in peace and get my bag, but the world's gone fully crazy. Was this all part of their plan? It's cool, I found a groove, cruising down the highway like I'm about to hit the news.
And of course, we're going to have a big closing night party, which will be a lot of fun as well. And then in between for the nightlife, we are going to have actually not in between, right before, there's going to be a singles mingle Valentine party on Valentine's Day. there's going to be a networking party on Sunday, and this is going to take place right before the opening party. We felt like this was the best opportunity to do that because all the speakers will have just been there for orientation and got their tour of the venue and all that stuff. And so we're going to have the networking party in the VIP lounge before the opening party on Sunday. So you'll buy a ticket to that if you want to have a chance to kind of round robin, sit and meet with all the different speakers that we have participating in that. And actually, Kale, why don't you talk a little bit about these things, because you're the one organizing those parties. I don't want to speak for you or forget something.
Sure, no problem. So the singles mingle, we actually have a special woman who runs a speed dating event in the UK called Tinfoil Dating. So Rebecca Archer will be helping me to run this. She's got a massive following of anarchist type, like-minded community people that she's been doing it in the UK. So she's offered to help me this year. Last year was our first time doing it. We had 11 pairings. Our ticket sales so far have matched that, and I believe as we get closer to the event, it's going to exceed it. I checked out a couple of venues this past weekend, and I'm feeling pretty confident that the second one is a really romantic spot. But I think it's just last year we had a couple of good love matches. We did have how do I say, a very sexy lady who got a lot of attention. But we did get some pairings. And it was super fun, I think, for people who had never been to Anarchapulco, because most of the guests of that event were first timers, and they had friends that they made on that speed dating that they were able to connect with throughout the entire week. And that was really special. And also with the speakers speed networking event, we did that last year. Also, we had about 25 pairings for that. Tickets are going to go fast, so make sure you buy your tickets. There's a limited number of tickets because the VIP lounge is only so large, but you do get to sit down one-on-one with the speakers. So you'll be able to meet with Michael Cobb. You'll be able to sit and have a 5-minute date with him and ask whatever question you want. And so, we'll be doing kind of how do you say, you'll be moving from table to table. Drinks are included for the speakers networking. Both events actually, drinks are included. Also finger foods, and it's just going to be really great. It's going to be a great time meeting all these new people, whether it be in a romantic setting or whether that be in a professional networking setting with the speakers. So the speakers will be announced. They are popping up one by one saying, yes, I want to be involved. Yes, I want to be involved. So as we get closer to the event, we have everything secure. All of those things will be announced.
I do want to.
So, yes, Miranda.
I do want to mention a little bit that, especially obviously if the opening night party is outdoors, me and my friend will be performing aerials again, which we haven't done since 2024, in the background of things while people are performing.
Thank you. That's going to be fun. But coming back to the parties, those that you mentioned, Kale, those, if I understand it correctly, the tickets and the information gonna come soon on the webpage. Is that correct?
The tickets are for the Valentine's event are already listed. We have a $1 holding fee just because the price is going to be determined based on whatever deal I can work out with the venues. So I'm going to be working that out, and by the end of the week, we'll have the solid pricing already on there, as well as the venue location. With the speed networking party, those tickets are going to be up this week.
And I can also
Thank you.
comment
So
regarding the opening and closing party. There will not be any tickets. This year is the first time when we have a opening party included also for general admission. We've been charging the previous years, and it was included only for the VIPs. And also same for the closing party, and there will be unlimited open bar for VIP attendees, both for opening party and for closing party. And also we're going to have some finger foods for opening party. And every general admission ticket holder will get one welcome drink voucher for the opening party, not for the closing party. So those are the logistical details I can share.
Thank you so much. So all ticket holders can attend opening and closing party. It's included in their tickets. And yeah, that's I guess that's really, really nice to have for everyone. What about the events happening, other events happening? I guess it's right after the main event, as the TDV Summits. And yeah, would you like to tell a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we have the TDV and the TCV Summits, which are the Dollar Vigilante and the Crypto Vigilante summits are taking place on Saturday and Sunday immediately after the event. Those are an additional price. You can find them on the website. And there's also some package deals. So if you want to buy an Anarchapulco ticket and a TDV ticket and a TCV ticket, you can get a package ticket that's listed on the website as well. And then, of course, we have the Anarch Awakening retreats, which I'll let Paulo speak to. And then we have the Forko, which I'll let Miranda speak to. Maybe she could speak about that first, and then Paulo could talk about Anarch Awakening.
Okay, so for the Agoraforko situation, that is just a continuation of the event that started in 2018. That's was originally called Anarchaforko. The whole idea was to, it was taking the crypto forking, you fork the chain, you go in another direction. But the point was to give people that didn't necessarily have access to stage time the ability to share what they want to do, or even beyond that. Like, let's say you want to go on some excursion into the area. The best way to do that is to put it on the Forko website. Everybody who has a ticket has access to that. You should receive an email about how to log in when you buy your ticket. But the whole idea is once you have that ticket, you just are able to both see the calendar and add things. So it could be like, I'm going to meet here on this morning for coffee and see who shows up, Historically, the last couple of years, we've had between like 50 and 70 events for that week. It's usually the week after Anarchapulco. So this year would be the 21st to the 28th. But it can extend beyond that. We've had people put, events in the middle of the year wherever they are. It's not location dependent. It's not dates dependent. But the main time that people are going to have allotted to be able to be there for it is that week after Anarchapulco. And the idea is, if you want to do a workshop with people, you put it on the Forco website. If you want to have an adventure with people, if you want to share your information, we've had sponsors throw parties, like Pirate Chain has thrown parties during that week, for example. So the whole idea is to give people the true ability to build their own adventure. Because during Anarchapulco, you can pick things that are, put on by Anarchapulco and the speakers of Anarchapulco. But that's your ability to contribute. And we have found speakers that way. We have found staff that way through like people that have put on events. So that's really, really Agoraforko in a nutshell.
And somebody has
Great.
found
So
a life partner that way.
Yeah, that would be me. Yeah, my man, he found me first on the Anarchists, and he was one of 5 people who bought the Agoraforko only ticket when we relaunched it in 2023. and he showed up at my events and just, paraded his pretty face around. And yeah, you can find a life partner at those sorts of things. It does work.
So basically, everyone from the attendees that have the access to the calendar can become a host of a workshop, of whatever event, whatever he or she feels that he or she wants to offer. Put on the calendar, invite people, but you have to choose the location yourself. It's not going to be that the Anarchapulco is providing the convention center. That's by the organizer.
That's an important distinction because I've had people email me like, okay, where can I do this? And I was like, that's completely up to you. I'm not here to tell you you can use this place at this time. We've had people ask, okay, can I have the venue for this day? The venue being in the past Secret Garden. And it's like, I mean, we have the venue for the main event, but we are not responsible for providing the venue. So if you want the stage at the convention center for your workshop, for your speech, you need to find a way to make that happen. That was something that definitely confused people. I distinctly remember the first Anarchaforko. I'm getting wires crossed because of the name change. But I remember the first one, somebody came up to me and was like, "Where's the podium?" And I was like, "There's no podium." And they're like, "But I need a podium to speak." And I was like, "Well, then you should probably get yourself a podium." And they went to the venue, which that was at the Acapulco Convention Center, and they went to the venue and negotiated for like $25 for the day or something to be able to use the podium. And they brought in the podium once they paid for it. And they were a little salty, but it was very much like, hey, the whole idea of this is to be more hands-on. It wasn't supposed to just be speeches that are being delivered like Anarchapulco. That's what Anarchapulco does. We're not trying to replace Anarchapulco. We are trying to add for people that are like, hey, I want to do this. Hey, I want to do this, I do want to mention for me, because a lot of people, a friend of mine recently was like, hey, it kind of feels more corporate, this year. And for me, I do want to make a note on the convention center because it sounds corporate, inside air conditioning. But as somebody who rented the Acapulco Convention Center, which the buildings are very similar, like they have structures outside that are very similar, like they're, kind of cookie cutter designs. However, the environment that the Acapulco Convention Center provided for that first Forco was kind of nothing short of magical. It was like a giant sandbox of sorts, and it feels like coming back home, even though it's a different convention center in a different town. It really does, for me anyway, as the person that put on that first Forco, it feels like coming home. And it doesn't feel corporate. It feels like going back to some roots, that kind of got left behind.
I would actually also
Matt.
like to add, yes, it's a corporate and large space that might sound boring for many at the beginning, but then again, I think it's all about the people that we are working with, right? And I'd just like to add that the administration of the convention center has been just amazing. Like every single idea we had, they are willing to do anything for us to make it happen, and like the flexibility and all of us actually felt it's just incredible. And we really feel that this space is going to be amazing, and especially for the first time event in a different city, to not overcomplicate things. I think it's just going to be amazing. And in the back of the venue, we're going to run ceremonies, and we are considering different options for opening party. And I remember myself, what was March, last year, March, when I walked in as a stranger into a convention center without even signing up a visit. The director of the center was just meeting me and like, okay, what's up? And like, oh, we are looking for a venue to organize an event. He's like, okay, no problem, just come around and I'll show you around. And And so it's been incredible working with them, and I really have a confidence that it's going to be just amazing.
Yeah, on that, the Acapulco Convention Center was very much the same, and by the end of the Forco, we had the entire administration of the because we had told them, hey, if you want to attend, you can. We're not gonna charge you. And by the end of it, we had them walking around to our vendors and stuff, and like learning about essential oils and getting tuning fork therapy and all sorts of stuff back in 2018. So it sounds like it's very much administration wise the same vibe. It is technically, I think, a government building. However, they are very open-minded in general to our ideas, and I think part of their interest for having us there is they're just curious as to like how are these gringos bringing all of these other gringos and güeros and güeras, which is the Spanish term for, nice white people to Mexico. Like, how are they doing this and what are they talking about? So I would expect to see some of that this year too.
So it actually we are so welcome that we even got subsidized by the state that covers part of the venue's expenses, which is just amazing, I think. So we are that welcomed in Puerto Vallarta.
That's great to know. What about Anarcho Awakening? I see that Paulo is here and ready to tell us a bit about that. I want to mention before I let you, Paulo, talk that I am really excited and planning to have an episode on Conversation in Anarchy just for Anarcho Awakening and the ceremonies and the retreat, where you, Paulo, and Berhard and Vistara would be able to tell more about what's going to be available. But yes, please tell us, give us a little insight.
Yes, absolutely. What we are planning this year for Anarcho Awakening is to host a ceremony during the whole event that they're going to be hosted just outside the convention center. We are going to offer combo and buffo ceremony. So when you're gonna, the tickets are available on the website already. You can go and book your time, your Tuesday and time. Those ceremonies are gonna be happening in the format of 2 people at a time. And after that, after the event, we put up together a retreat that is going to be hosted in a villa that we found in Puerto Vallarta, is close to Nuevo Vallarta, and is a beautiful place. Is very relaxed, and we are gonna offer this retreat for from the 22nd to the 26th, where we are gonna have ayahuasca work and meditation, yoga, and we are gonna be followed by Berhard and Vistara for all those ceremonies. So yeah, I'm very excited to see how it's gonna be. Is exciting. Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be really insightful, and I'm looking forward to talking to you and Berhard and Vistara another time more about this. Right now, I would ask those that know, are there any suggestions about flights and transportations in general around the PV and to Puerto Vallarta? Maybe Kale, since you just arrived, you can suggest something.
Well, one of the reasons we decided to move to Puerto Vallarta is because of the accessibility. There's over 100 flights that come into Puerto Vallarta direct from all over the world. So, getting to Acapulco was becoming a little bit more difficult and also very expensive. So flights are a lot more affordable getting here to Puerto Vallarta. And also we have a lot more options for transportation to get around. There's public buses that go up and down the main road, Benito Francisco. You can just jump on those for 10 or 20 pesos. You can also get Uber from the airport. A note about the Uber pickups from the airport. They do not pick you up in the arrivals. You have to go out of the airport main entrance, take a left, go left around the building, up the stairs, across the bridge of the main road, down the stairs on the other side, and there's like bus station and like a restaurant. Forget what it's called right now, but it's got a big Coca-Cola sign on it. That's where the Ubers will pick you up from. So if you are ordering Uber, make sure you just go across the bridge and grab your Uber from over there. And it is quite affordable. We've taken an Uber from the airport and it cost about $5 to go from the airport to almost to the marina. So to the going to the romantic zone. Look, I would budget maybe $15 for getting around in and about, less than a half an hour's drive from the airport. To the convention center, I have not taken an Uber to the convention center yet. But like I said, it'll be a few bucks and there are a lot of options. Taxis are there. As I said, buses.
I have a note on the taxis. So when we landed in November, we first got the prices from the taxis, and when we got off the plane, and they were price gouging, like it was insane. And there was a surge price on the Uber too. We walked to the OXXO, which is a little convenience store in the parking lot of the airport, and we got the things that we would need, water, whatever, to get through the evening. And when we came back, the taxis were more than 50% less than they had been not 10 minutes previous when the surge pricing was going on. So just be aware of that. If you decide you want to take a taxi, one, the price they give you is absolutely negotiable, even if they're handing you a paper that shows the rates. Wait 10 minutes, go to the convenience store and come back, because when they were putting their little taxi stands away and because the rush of our flight had just dissipated, then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we want to give you a ride, let's work a deal. So just be aware of that. That is a thing. And as I've learned from Kristaps, you can negotiate anything in Mexico. So don't just necessarily take the first price on a taxi. And be aware that the second you walk out of the airport, there's going to be a bunch of people offering you rides, and they're going to be offering them at the highest price. So really, truly wait 10 minutes and come back if you don't feel like doing a big negotiation, and that will lower the price immediately.
I would just like to add that on the top of Uber, there's also the second biggest shared rides provider called Didi, which for me specifically worked most of the times actually even better than Uber. But I heard others have different experiences. But yeah, they have as I heard, they have 2,000 Uber cars in Puerto Vallarta and over 1,000 Didi cars, which most times it's actually cheaper than Uber, and it's just the same kind of service, just a different app.
Also heard that there's another company called InDrive, like INDRIVE, here in Puerto Vallarta, which got lower rates, just like Didi. So those might be additional apps that you guys want to download. Kat, would you mind speaking to the rental car?
Can I mention something about the InDrive situation? I used InDrive exclusively in Cancun for like 2 months when I was there this year, and I will say that Didi is just as good as Uber app-wise, but InDrive, the actual app function, the way it works is terrible, because it will tell you that a driver is right outside your building. You will go outside your building, and then it'll say the driver's 10 minutes away. So be aware of that. Like the actual InDrive app is super glitchy, like super, super glitchy. And this was on brand new iPhone. So it wasn't like I had an old phone that just didn't work well with it. It's just a terrible app. However, Didi, the quality of the app and you being able to see where the driver is just as good as Uber is.
I can actually share exactly the same. I had exactly the same experience like you, Miranda, in Puerto Vallarta. So I have downloaded the InDrive app, and it felt so glitchy that I actually did not even try to order a cab. So I deleted right away.
Yeah, it's the only way to get around in Cancun, and it is so frustrating, especially because we thought the taxi cartels in Acapulco were bad, but they are so bad. They're like borderline violent in Cancun. Indirect, like integration with that, it's terrible. Worst app ever. So yes, it works, but is it worth the bullshit? Not really. Sorry for my language, but it was terrible.
Pat, could
So,
you
Kat, I
or
guess
Paulo
you.
talk about the rental car experience?
I will let Paolo talk about that because I never actually rented a car. It's always been my sweet husband. Paolo, are you there?
Yes.
He might have.
Well,
Okay.
what I like to use when we are in Puerto Vallarta is this company called Gecko. I always find myself very well treated. They are quick. If you book and you reserve ahead, it's super easy. You get in, you give your driver license and your credit card. The price you see when they give you the quote is the price you're gonna pay at the end. There is no surprise, no anything. They are top notch, and is a small company. Is not one of those big corporate companies. I really love them. If you want to stay on the cheaper side, there is this other company is called
Max
Max
Cars.
Car, Max Cars, and Chris told me about those. We got some really like super good deals, but you really need to insist when you are gonna pick up your vehicle that you don't want to pay anything extra because they want to always sell you or upsell you some insurance on it that is gonna cost 3 times the price of the car. So yeah,
Kale and I
but
had that
there is
experience in
workaround.
Mexico City. It was really frustrating. We rented a van in Mexico City and they would not let us leave the lot without paying for insurance that like tripled the cost of the rental, even though we had paid for the Expedia insurance. Like it was a whole thing. So really, truly be aware of that if you're renting a car. And that's why we've liked the Gecko.
Yes, correct. I love the geckos because they also put those insurance in it, but they don't want to upsell you anything. They're just gonna tell you the price, the cost ahead, and then it's gonna be it. That's why I really like them. They're very honest, and yeah, I never had a problem with them. We did a couple of rental with them, and they're really nice. They're really nice. Yeah.
Thank you
So that's
guys for this call.
GECO, Gecko.
Gecko, like the gecko, yeah. Gecko rental.
Thank you so much, guys, for this information. What about, is there anything else for the attendees to know, something special to pack in the suitcases or something like this, or something to be aware of when being in Puerto Vallarta? Somebody
I
who
have
would like to
something.
share.
Okay, this is really important, especially if you have children or if you're drinking drinks that have limes in them. Okay, so there is a thing that is called margarita burn. And this is where if you touch citrus, meaning you squeeze a lime onto a taco, or you're drinking from the rim of a glass that has lime juice on it, in Puerto Vallarta, the way the sun hits and interacts with lime juice, it can cause a severe burn. And this happened to mine and Paolo's daughter, Josie, where we were on the beach and she squeezed a lime onto a taco. The lime juice ran down her arm, dripped onto her leg. She touched her face and she ended up with blisters. I'm not exaggerating, that were this tall. And they were in the shape of the drip going down her arm and handprint on her hands, like horrible, horrible. So if you are at the beach and you're eating tacos or you're drinking and you touch lime, you need to wash it off immediately. And I know that sounds dramatic, but it is not. The hotel doctor knew what it was immediately. Our dermatologist here in the United States knew what it was immediately. When I was telling this story to my cousin, who's a pediatric dermatologist, she knew what it was immediately. I had never heard of this before, but when we were in Puerto Vallarta 2.5 years ago, this happened to our daughter. So I feel like I want to make sure everybody is aware of that. And so if you don't, normally wear sunscreen, fine, but this is not that. It's hyper, it's I don't remember the exact word for it, but it concentrates the UV rays of the sun in such a way that it can severely damage you. So just be aware of that. I think limes are the worst, but lemons, any kind of citrus, even oranges, things like that, just make sure that if you are interacting with those foods, that you are washing it off before you go out in the sun. So if you are eating at a table on the beach, enjoy your meal, but go wash off before you go out to play in the water, because that's what happened, is that the waves were so big that Josie didn't actually swim. I was just carrying her and did not know that the lime juice was causing this terrible, terrible burn in multiple places on her body and mine. I got a 2nd-degree burn because she touched my arm. I got a handprint burn on my arm. So you just please be aware and be careful, especially for those of us that are coming from up north where it might be a little bit more cold and our skin hasn't received sunlight in a few months in the way that it, would over the summer. It's just something to be aware of and be prepared for.
Well, one of the
Thank you
things
so
that
much,
I
Kit.
would have recommended if we were going to our previous venue was mosquito insect repellent, but I haven't had any experiences being here in the last few days where mosquitoes were an issue. Maybe if you're going to be hanging around near the water's edge at the river or at the ocean at the beach, maybe there'll be mosquitoes there, but walking around for a few hours yesterday, I didn't even. And we got here a couple of days ago, so on Friday we went out, and that was a very kind of bushy area. No mosquitoes. We've pretty much been out for like the last 3 days out and about and haven't had any mosquito bites at all. However, I did hear of on one of the Facebook groups for Puerto Vallarta expats, they were talking about these little sand flies. If you're at the beach, apparently they're little sand flies and they bite really hot. And like it does turn into blisters. So I don't know what would be the remedy for that. Maybe just some insect repellent on your, ankles and your calves. But aside from that, I mean, anything, a sun hat, sun visor would be advisable if you're going to be hanging around outside before, after the convention. But I guess, with the experience of being in the convention center this time, we don't have to really worry so much so about the outdoor issues in a tropical climate. So use your
I do want to
discretion.
mention we will be importing a swim pool. So it'll be an above ground pool. But that was, people loved being able to swim during the event and the kids love to swim. So we will be bringing in like an adult size pool and a child size pool, and probably some like blow up bounce things for the kids. So, it's not going to be as naturey and outdoorsy as it has been in the past, but still, if you want to swim, bring a swimsuit to the convention center. That's absolutely encouraged, and we want everybody to have fun and be safe. And one of the interesting things about Puerto Vallarta is that they actually speak a lot of English there, because I think it's just way more business and activity and tourism is going on. And so what I have found is very often in Puerto Vallarta, I'm speaking broken Spanish and they're speaking English, and we're speaking each other's opposite language because we're trying to, reach out to one another. So if you're feeling maybe intimidated about going to a new country for the first time, Puerto Vallarta is a great place actually to come if you don't know Spanish. Now, obviously, we do try to learn as much Spanish as possible. We try to speak in Espanol as much as possible. But Puerto Vallarta, I think, is a really easeful place to transition if you have never traveled internationally before, or if you're having any reservations about that. But generally speaking, I feel like my cell phone service worked really well in Puerto Vallarta. It's a little bit cooler than Acapulco. It still got warm during the day. So just be prepared for, bring something to cover up if you get cold in air conditioning, but be able to layer down out in the sunshine. And just bring yourself and whatever comforts you need when you travel. Like, my team knows I travel with my own coffee and my own way to make my own coffee, and I'm pretty particular about how I do things. But because we're not going to be in any sort of extreme conditions, I don't think there's much that you really need to worry about, except just prepare yourself for beach excursions and whatever your creature comforts are. It's a great place.
On the bringing your own coffee, slightly unrelated, but I do think it's funny. I also travel with my coffee. I travel with an espresso frother and a V60, so I can have coffee anywhere, the way I like it.
Yeah, in my experience here in Puerto Vallarta, you can go to the mall. The La Isla Mall is not very far down the main road from the airport or the convention center. And depending on where you're staying, like I said, probably just a 5-minute drive in a car. So there's a mall, there's a lot of shopping options. You can pretty much find anything that you need that you would get in the US or Canada or the UK, except, for Marmite, maybe you might not be able to find a jar of Marmite, but definitely you would be able to get anything you want. There's Sam's Club, there's Walmart, I would encourage you to use the local vendors and local markets. Mike and I just found a market yesterday. It was a Sunday market, and we went and we bought like our whole groceries worth of vegetables for the week, and it costs like less than 300 pesos. And so, there's a lot of different shopping options depending on if you're going to have an Airbnb and cooking for yourself or whatnot. So I wouldn't be worried so much so about things that you leave behind.
Great. Thank you guys so much for this information. So to round up a little bit and sum up, it's going to be the main event from the 15th to 20th. Just before the main event, there's going to be a single mingle party on the 14th, the Valentine's Day. There's going to be opening party. Say it again, Kale. What's the party's name that's going to be happening?
Networking party.
Networking party, yes.
Networking party.
So, and then there's going to be the main event, during which it's going to be possible to have both special dinners and plant medicine ceremonies.
I think you have forgotten about the opening party on the 15th.
Opening party on the 15th. So, and there's going to be closing party on the 20th. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes. And then just after the main event, there's going to be both Agoraforko, where everyone can throw on workshop or whatever excursion or what there is to offer, making sure that the location and everything that is needed for this to happen is taken care of by the organizer, not by the Anarchapulco. Then there's going to be retreats, and there's going to be TDV and TCV Summits, and there's going to be also a temple tour that speakers Dr. Lydia and Arturo de Leon gonna be organizing in the Mexico City or around the Mexico City. And we, on the Conversations in Anarchy, we have already talked to them about this, and I have link in the descriptions below to that episode. So please, guys, check it out and learn more about what's going to be offered on the temple tour. It's going to be very special, and the tickets are on sale already at anarchapulco.com. Is there anything that I have forgotten? So check out the speakers list and the tickets if you don't have any yet on anarchapulco.com. And yes, and on the time up to the Anarchapulco 2026, we're going to have several episodes talking more about what to expect at Anarchapulco. So if you have any questions, please let me know about those in comments below. So we will try to answer to those as good as possible. In the links below, there is also, in the descriptions below, I'm sorry, there is also a link to the official chat on Telegram that Anarchapulco have. And so yes, thank you so much for watching and listening.
I have one more thing, Laura.
Yeah. Yes.
Maybe
yes, Cal, please.
We can get Chris to tell people what they can expect in terms of branded merchandise from Anarchapulco. Chris, will there be t-shirts? Will there be hats? Will there be mugs? What will there be for Anarchapulco merchandise?
Well, absolutely. There will be t-shirts, there will be hats, and we actually going to have I wanted to well, that hasn't been entirely finalized yet, but there will be a whole bunch of things from with the Genesis team and also with the previous teams. We still have things left from. We normally try to save some shirts from the previous years for those that would like to have some of them. But yeah.
Anything else before we say bye for this time? If not, then stay tuned, and thank you so much for your attention and time, and peace, love, and anarchy. See you soon. Bye.